Welcome to another edition of Off Books and Writers. Today we have budding young poet who's also a matchmaker, an MC and a very new bride. Let me welcome Deepshika. Welcome on the show, Deepshika.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations first. I believe you just got married.
Yes, a week before. That's why I'm dressed up like a festival.
So that's why you're dressed up like a festival. The biggest festival in anybody's life is a marriage, right?
Yeah, you get a lot of bhav from people, so.
But a lot of people think that the bride or the groom are not the center of attraction, and they are. What do you have to think about that?
I think couple of relatives feel that way. So we were the ones, we are the bridesmaid and everything. They take all the credit of yours that, okay, we are the one who did it. So it is somewhat like that, but it's a good experience overall.
Are we going to see any of it in your writing? So like all writers, they tend to take life experiences and, milk them for whatever they are worth.
Actually, before my wedding, when I was not even knowing whom will I marry, I wrote a poetry, Sharing the Blanket. Because I was very possessive about my room, my bed and the tiny things which a girl has actually. So it said that, I don't want to share my blanket and bed, and in a due course of time, I wrote that now he rules over my heart and head and I am ready to sacrifice my blanket and bed. So that was the transition I had. And I am also planning a book on Confessions of an Indian Husband.
You are presuming to be inside the husband's head.
I'll try to, because every time I have written from a boy's perspective, being a tomboy. So, in fact, I wrote a love story kind of a poetry. There also I was a backbencher guy who used to whistle at the girl. So, I've never been that typical Seedha Sada Sati Savitri type of a bacha. So, I've always been that rowdy kind of a guy. So, I'll always prefer to write from that perspective.
Like many writers, I believe, tell us that, writing is their escape. They'll tend to, like actors live different roles, so they live different lives. So writers assume different identities. So was that like an escape mechanism that you had developed?
Writing helps you to take out all the grudges against a person. Okay, principal scolded me, I'll kill her in my novel. Okay, my dad screwed me, no problem. I'll make him a notorious student of my class. Something like that. So it becomes like, you start thinking that you're a demigod, not that master himself, but a chota mota god you can be. You can have strings. Ki acha, you somewhere think, acha, theek hai, dekh lenge isko. Something like that.
Right?
I started writing in school in class 6th. The first thing which I started writing was love letter for students. From this to this. From Rita to...
You're a ghost love letter writer.
Yeah, something like that. I used to get pocket money for, canteen expenses and everything, but they used to be very less. Mom used to be very strict about it. Bahar ka nahi khana and all that. Eventually, it figured out to be that I started writing love letters for people and they were like, wow. कितने लेगी 50 रुपए चलो ठीक है. It was a cheap kind of a thing, and I used to know the temperament of girls and guys, so I used to hook them up. हाँ तेरे से सेट हो जाएगी, मैं लिखती हूँ ना poem, तो चिंता क्यों करता है? So it always used to be like that. And once my mom also caught my diary and she was like, तब से तुमसे प्यार किया है, सब्जी आलू है कि घिया है? What is this? And I told, मम्मी मेघा को पटाना था आयुष के लिए, that is why मैंने कुछ नहीं किया, I'm just the catalyst. I only increase the rate of reaction,
That's what you told your mother. Now we know the truth. That was what you had written, right?
No, I wrote it for them only because that
not
time
for you.
I never believed in that fancy approach of love. Because I thought कि जो मेरी poetry देख के कोई और से पट जाए तो यार, तो logically कभी fit नहीं आया, but eventually.
So have you written any poem for your husband yet?
He thinks that whatever love poems I've written it for him. He thinks that.
Why does it happen that anybody who's a poet always gets this question, ये किसके लिए लिखा?
Exactly.
Who have you written this for?
Agreed.
But there must be somebody you would have written it for.
They objectify the poetry. I don't know why. But it happens. या फिर कोई sad लिखी, जैसे by chance लिखी female infanticide. बहुत बुरा हुआ. अरे भाई मेरे साथ थोड़ी हुआ. I mean, it's just the society's image I'm trying to portray. So somewhere that is why he is in a rosy picture की अच्छा सारी आशिकी वाली मेरे लिए.
It's a good thing to cultivate, na? I believe you had challenges in learning while growing up.
Yeah.
What were those challenges?
Not only in English, but in general, like maths, or maybe in fine motor skills such as tying shoelaces, or maybe figuring out alphabets because B became D and D became B. So it was a kind of a difficult situation which I had to tackle. And even small little mistakes such as right left directions, spatial knowledge कि यहाँ पे ये वाला मम्मी को दिखता था, यहाँ पे वो वाला सोफा फिट आ जाएगा, अब मुझे नहीं दिखा तो मैं क्या करूँ. It was a difficult phase and my mom helped me a lot. I mean, I've always been a brat in terms of my studies, but eventually I got rid of the problem by practice, by some of the magical tricks.
We are not going to ask anybody's percentage in this program.
No,
We are not
later I am a
bothered about it.
distinction holder.
Actually, when you can't make the difference out, for example, when people are dyslexic or colorblind or for whatever reason, it's not their fault.
Yeah.
But sometimes they get pulled up for something like that. So did it give rise to a lot of,
Yeah, people
bottled
think
up-
that you are making an excuse of not studying.
yeah.
But the problem is that you cannot. There is a
cannot
difference.
help it.
Yeah. People think that, by practice you can overcome it. But even after practicing, it doesn't come that easily. You should be patient enough, even teachers and parents, which I feel. That they should be more of helping and they should not lose their temper कि ये तुमको समझ क्यों नहीं आ रहा. So that's what I feel. And even I was picked up. I mean, my sister was in the same school. So, and she was a topper. So every time my teacher used to send, जाओ दीदी को बुला के लाओ. And I went, teacher, my sister. I used to hide my test reports inside the mattress ये वो करके. तो कभी सफाई हुई दिवाली की. ये क्या तुमने बताया नहीं तुम्हारे 4 on 10 आए थे? Something like 18 out of 100. I mean, I always believe that good days give you memories and bad days gives you plot. So ठीक है. These all are a plot of my movies and poetry
Have you
write-ups.
written any movies yet?
I've
Okay.
written 2 short films.
Have they been shot?
Yeah. One, I have made it, I mean, I have directed it for myself. Other one, I mean, conceptualized it with the help of my mom and she has made the movie, which has also got some laurels. And in college, I have always written street plays, nukkad natak and everything like that.
So when did you turn serious about having, say, your poems taken from your love letters or seriously written poems and becoming a collection? When do you
I'm
first?
still trying to be serious.
You don't
but
have to
yeah.
be serious and dead serious, but you can get around to.
Yeah, actually, when I started writing, I used to jot them in the diary. But later, I mean, even my parents suggested me that why don't you transform them into a book? Otherwise, you'll start
Yeah.
losing your poems. So then I thought but I was not pretty keen about doing. I am a person with a big casual approach in life. So then my fiance said, now my husband, he suggested me that publisher के साथ मगजमारी मैं कर लूँगा, you do the writing part and
Yeah.
everything. Me and mom edited the poems and we eventually carried out this journey and all the dealings, royalty, this, that, he took care of that. And the PR thing, since I talk a lot, so
So you always
handle
been
it.
extroverted like this?
I mean, I started speaking little late. People used to think that अरे बोलेगी नहीं बोलेगी और अब तो बोलते हैं अरे
means
अब
when
चुप
did
कब
you-
होगी.
Well, late, when the people speak late, this is what happens, right?
पहले का backlog clear करना पड़ता है ना.
For so long, no, I think, 1 year's backlog is not going to be cleared over so many, and that is
Yeah.
unfair. So you started doing this poem and your book came out last year.
I wanted to give my book as a return gift to all the guests who attend my ring ceremony.
Oh.
So
how
that's why
nice.
I had to make it little fast.
I don't blame your husband for thinking it's for him. If you gave it to that occasion, he's going to think anybody would
But
think
he is very sweet in that case. I mean, I don't mind that if he thinks like that. He's a good guy. I'm angry on him when I don't see him, but when I see him, it's okay.
that. It's
Hello,
okay,
rakh
life
lo
is
yaar.
good. Yeah. What next? I mean, what plans? You're talking about making a film, you're talking about your next book of poems is due, or you're writing something
No, I'm
else?
writing a self-help book.
Okay.
Yeah,
Self-help book.
yeah.
That's quite a departure from poems and short films, right?
Yeah, it's something based on the experiences of life so far.
Who's
It's
the ideal reader for it?
the target audience will be anybody who seeks inspiration from little things in life. Somebody who doesn't only think about himself or herself. Somebody who wishes to do at least 1% to the society, want to contribute. least 1% of the society. That's what I believe in, that if you are showing at least 1%, I'm ready to take care of that 99%, provided you show that 1%.
Okay.
So that is for all those people who show up their 1% in life, and rest 99% I'm ready to contribute. So this book is, the title of the book is Lighting the Lamp Within, Light the Lamp Within. So it's somewhere related to my name also. Actually, one of my teachers gave me a list of topics, and he said that, you know, I feel that you are the best person to carry forward this journey.
The teachers means?
A person I met in Hyderabad who was a visiting faculty, and he was old enough. So he told ki, I don't think I'll be able to carry it forward, but I see that same spark in you. So he gifted me without copyright issues and everything, and he told that you can use your name and you can get it published, and I mean, gift me a copy too.
What have you added to what he's given you?
Added more personalized content. It was just the topic, and I have modified and written some of the topics on my own. Like, it were 100 topics, but some of them didn't appeal to me because it was his perspective. So I've tried and do it in more youth oriented way, so that, you know, people just understand by reading 1 page or 1.5 page. I have tried to take some example from our texts such as Gita or some instances of Mahabharata. I'm trying to do it in much way so that people don't see Gita and Mahabharata as just TV serials or maybe the typical learning gyan of it, but a fun, light way that, you know, you should understand the lessons as well as the core value.
It's a good time also, because we see a lot of interest in the epics
mythology
now, and everybody's rewriting it in their own flavor. And you know, I've met authors who've rewritten stories from the Mahabharata which are not been outlined completely in the Mahabharata. They've just been mentioned, but they've gone back, traced it out, and done. So it's a very good
like
field to work in.
Usurpant's Revenge was written by Sudha Murthy. I was reading the book. I mean, I was there for the press conference which she hosted, and that is what she was telling, that, you know, the perspective matters a lot. Because we all know eventually what happened, that Ravan kidnapped and eventually, but how you think, your perspective matters.
Yeah, absolutely. There's somebody who's written a book on Ravan called Asura.
Even like Gandhi ji and Nathuram Godse, the same thing.
When are you going to be ready, or what target have you set for yourself for this book? When?
I have just written 15 chapters now. It's 100. Then after that I drifted away because it was my marriage and everything. So again I'm thinking that maybe by August I want it to be out, because I'll be going for my higher studies. So before that I want at least this one too.
Which writers of today inspire you, or do you like to read? Any time, not just today, any time.
Paulo Coelho. In poetry, I like Robert Frost, because every time when I used to do my homework and I used to sleep, so my mom used to motivate me by saying that woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. It's better to be a good writer rather than being a bad doctor.
Absolutely. I think that's something which you are lucky to have parents who give you that kind of, you know, perspective, freedom and encouragement.
Actually, there is a funny anecdote behind this, that when I opted for humanities, my mom was okay because she thought कि इतना भी कर रही है तो बहुत अच्छा है. But my dad was like, he looked at, science मिल रही है. I told हाँ. Commerce मिल रही है. मैंने कहा वो भी मिल रही है. Arts ही लोगी. कॉमर्स से ले लो. Then I told नहीं ह्यूमैनिटीज. तो फिर कहते जब सोच ही लिया तो I told कि आप साइन करेंगे या फॉर्म खुद साइन कर दो. तो कहते नहीं, दो साइन कर दो. तो दिस वाज द थिंग व्हिच हैपेंड. ही वाज जेन्युइन एंड ही वाज अ डिसेंट डैड कि उन्होंने खुद साइन कर दिया.
So can you forge his signature?
हाँ, बहुत मारे हैं, मतलब हाँ.
रिपोर्ट्स तभी तो छुपा देते हैं, मतलब
नहीं, दीदी से मरवाती थी उस टाइम तक. इतना पॉलिश्ड हैंड राइटिंग हुई नहीं थी. अब तो ठीक है.
हम लोग के टाइम पे तो स्कूल में साइन करा के वापस देना होता था क्लास टीचर को.
हाँ, एग्जैक्टली. तो वो दीदी करती थी.
अच्छा, पता है उनको?
हाँ, उनको पता है.
ओके.
और वो गुस्सा होते थे तो उनके जूते भी खिड़की से फेंक देती थी बस के. उनको ये भी पता है.
What next? I mean, as far as your poetry is concerned, are you looking at developing themes, or what inspires you?
We all have read, jokes about Hathi Cheeti. elephant and ant.
Yeah.
So I wrote a love story of ant and
Do you
elephant.
have it here? Can you read that?
Yeah, it's there. Ant Lily weds elephant Tongo. Come one and come all to the Amazon forest's grand hall. This is what Central Notice Board read. While reading this, the Lion King scratched his head. Wedding of Lily, our cutest ant, and our stud elephant Tongo with his lowest pant. This seemed a weird combo. Marriage of tiny Lily with huge Tongo. All my efforts and matrimonial alliances went in vain. How did they take the plunge so far to settle down with each other, that too intercaste? What about our culture and value preservation? Their children now won't be entitled for any reservation. Mama Elephant cried and yelled at the top of her voice. After all, she was left with hardly any choice. Not only Tongo's parents were sad, but also maximum hurt was Lily's dad. He cursed himself for sending her to the boarding school, for he thought Lily's innocence had made him a fool. Lily came and said in a feeble tone, being with Tongo, her courage had grown. I never want us to fall apart, but I love Tongo from the bottom of my heart. Tongo's father belonged to the different creed. He was now seeking dowry to satisfy his greed. No more dowry for love marriage, mister. Now I have saved every penny for Lily's sister. Lily's father cleared the matter. Tongo's family dream had begun to scatter. Just send her with the gown and the band. I promise I shall never leave Lily's hand. Tongo's words gave Lily's father some reassurance. Finally, Lily could see some positive result of her endurance. Tongo and Lily now thought to convince the parents on the other end. For this, they were willing to compromise their self-respect and decided to bend. We promise to make you proud, and no one shall criticize us in the crowd. These were the lines they both said. Lily started crying and bowed her head. Let the marriage be full of frolic and fun. After all, Tongo is my only son. Tongo's father's mood was in full delight. He eventually granted them the wedding rite. Finally, at Amazon forest, the great hall, the wedding bells gracefully rang. Out of joy, the whole jungle sang. Today, Tongo's and Lily's happiness have reached leaps and bounds. Their house is now filled with their kids' surround sounds. This is how their lives both sail. Despite so many differences, their marriage didn't fail.
Joke and given it a very unique perspective of a young Indian woman. Your marriage not intercaste.
No.
So I'm asking like everyone asks, so who have you written it for types?
No, I have not written it for somebody specific. But every time there used to be a very Hawa kind of a thing at my family intercaste. We are so much conditioned by the society. So maybe that was one of the reasons, whenever I used to look at a good guy, acha pata nahi bhumiyar hoga ki nahi, something like that.
So any other kind of poems?
Yeah, one is there, A Glass in Hand.
Okay.
It's about non-drinking, or the youth is heading towards all kind of addiction. So a proud non-smoker and a non-drinker. So I've written it. Maybe it creates a small difference in society. A glass of red wine doesn't make the situation fine. Your entangled thoughts cannot be unsnarled by tequila shots. It won't be solved with rum or whiskey. Your conditions shall become all the more risky. Not even a pint of beer will calm your anxiety and fear. By taking just one jigger, all your emotions will just trigger. Your health results shall always fail by consuming any kind of cocktail. No matter whatsoever is the brand, conflicts are never resolved with alcohol in hand. It happens when you hold your head high and just take an independent stand.
And I think it's a big support to people who are fighting the peer pressure.
Yeah.
Although nobody is actually forcing you to drink, but you just feel the pressure.
It's there that I won't be called cool enough, if I don't drink
That
or
fear
something.
is there, although it's unfounded. I've gone
But I get high seeing people getting high. I laugh and do, dekho, something like that.
You also feel that everybody has lost it, so I can be loose also.
Yeah.
At least the two poems that you've read, they've got some kind of a social message attached. Is there some kind of a unconscious thought in your head going around that
Yeah, maybe
Your
that
poem
urge
needs
to
to
give
have a
back to
message.
the society is there. Not exactly, I mean, in a very large perspective, but yeah, to some extent, giving back something to the society.
How you are always happy, because a lot of people could use that.
Okay. So after this, maybe.
Yeah.
Life is all about being happy. Life is all about being happy no matter what people say. Life is all about being happy, breaking stereotypes and carving out your own way. Life is all about being happy in sunshine and even when days are grey. Life is all about being happy, celebrating yourself each day. Life is all about being happy, understanding that everything is gonna be okay. Life is all about being happy, collecting all the priceless moments for which you can never pay. Life is all about being happy, thanking God for everything for which we can never pay. Life is all about being happy, losing all your apprehensions and allowing your confidence to stay. Life is all about being happy when during despair you see hope's new ray. Life is all about being happy in all the seasons, be it in cold December or summer days of May. Lastly, life is all about being happy, embracing your imperfections and being cheerful and gay.
Yes.
So that is the secret of being happy. Like disaster in delight.
So have you done anything like motivational speaking or helping, giving back to society by sharing these experiences and
I
using your
have
poems
been
in
a
that?
member of anti-suicide squad.
Okay.
I mean, I used to counsel people at the night. I mean, it was 7 cups of tea. There's a site. I was a counselor for that. I was an active listener. I used to listen to problems of people and help them the ways. And I've always tried to give back to society. I've always been keen in delivering motivational lectures. So I've given it in SRCC, Shri Ram College of Commerce. I've given it in Kamala Nehru College, in my own school, BPS Indrapuram. I'm always seeking for some opportunities, and whenever I find, I try to do that. And I've just taken a break from the counseling sessions because right now I'm overwhelmed. So I'm not able to genuinely help people because I'm not able to fit in their shoes. So that would be incorrect. So that's why I've taken a break and I'll eventually get back.
So we look forward to your next book.
Yeah, thank you.
And your next set of activities, which may include a film, which may include speaking assignments. I don't know what, and you don't know what, and that's the beauty of it. Depends on what happens and what.
Embracing your imperfections.
Embracing your imperfections, and just wishing you all the very best.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations once again on your wedding.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.